Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about weavers, iron smelters and factory owners. That has been discussed in our previous video also. This is the 7th chapter of 8th class. 8th class history and weavers, iron smelters and factory owners. As I have told you, like this chapter tells the story of the craft and industries of India during British rule by focusing two industries. The first is textile and the second is iron and steel industry. In our previous videos we have discussed the words which tell us histories like muslin, chintz, patola and banna also. So today we will discuss the remaining part of this chapter, that is related to who were weavers, the major weaving centers and Indian textiles in European market. Basically in this video we will discuss about Indian textiles in European market. The second is search for technological innovations. After it, major weaving centers in India. Major weaving centers in India, and later on we will discuss about who were the weavers. And finally we will discuss the decline of Indian textile industries. By the early 18th century, Indian textile was made popular in European market, and worried by the popularity of Indian textiles, wool and silk market in England, began protesting against the import of Indian cotton textiles. That's why in 1720, British government passed Calico Act. In 1720, the British government enacted this act, and unable to compete with Indian textiles, Indian producers wanted a secure market within the country by preventing the entry of Indian textiles. The first to grow under government protection was the calico printing industry, and Indian designs were now imitated and printed in England on white muslin or plain unbleached Indian clothes, so that they could sell their material, their goods in the market. And at that time, competition with Indian textiles also led to a search for technological innovation in England. That is our second point, search for technological innovations in England. And at that time, in 1764, the spinning jenny was invented, and it was invented by John Kay. And the invention of spinning jenny increased the productivity of the traditional spindles. Later on, the invention of the steam engine by Richard Arkwright in 1786 revolutionized cotton textile weaving. Cloth could now be woven in immense quantities and cheaply too. The first is Calico Act, passed in 1720, banned the use of printed cotton textiles. After it, spinning jenny. Spinning jenny was invented by John Kay in 1764, and the second invention was steam engine, and this was invented by Richard Arkwright. But Indian textiles continued to dominate world trade till the end of the 18th century. European trading companies like Dutch, French and English made enormous profits out of this flourishing trade. These companies purchased cotton and silk textiles in India by importing silver. But as we have discussed in our earlier videos, when the English East India Company gained political power in Bengal. It means when in 1765 company became the Diwan of Bengal, it no longer had to import precious metal to buy Indian textiles, Indian goods. And instead of importing Indian goods, they collected revenue from peasants and jamidars in India and used this revenue to buy Indian textiles. Now we will discuss the major centers of weaving in the late 18th century. Look at this map. This map shows the major weaving centers in India. In the early 19th century, in the 18th century, when you look at this map, you can see that the textile production was concentrated in 4 regions of country at that time. And these 4 regions were Bengal, Gujarat, Decca and Coromandel coast. And Coromandel coast from Madras to Andhra Pradesh, northern Andhra Pradesh. Bengal was one of the most important centers located along the numerous rivers. This was Bengal's area. The production centers in Bengal could easily transport goods to distant places. Why? Because at that time railways had not developed and roads were only just beginning to be laid on an extensive scale. So waterways was used to transport goods from one country to another country. And the second foremost place is Decca. Decca in eastern Bengal, and at present it is in Bangladesh, was the foremost textile centers in the 18th century. As I have told you in my previous video, it was famous for its Malmal and Jamdani weaving. For Jamdani weaving, 2 areas were famous. Decca in East Bengal and Lucknow in United Provinces. In the southern part of India, in this part we can see a cluster of cotton weaving centers along the Coromandel coast stretching from Madras to northern Andhra Pradesh, like Pondicherry, Pulicat, Masulipattnam. Masulipattnam is famous for chins. And the fourth is Gujarat. Gujarat is in western side. On the western coast, we can see there were important weaving centers in Gujarat. In important weaving centers, we can include Patan. Patan was famous for Patola. Ahmedabad. This is Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad was famous for its cotton and textile industry. That's why it is also known as Manchester of India in present. And besides Ahmedabad, Surat. Surat was also famous for Patola. Patola was woven in Surat. And Surat was also famous for plain white and chins also. Patan was famous for not only for Patola but also for silk. And Banaras was also famous for silk production. So we can see so many weaving centers in the late 18th century in India. Now we will discuss who were weavers. Those who belonged to the weaving of clothes were known as weavers. Weavers often belonged to different communities that specialized in weaving. Their skills were passed from one generation to the next. We can see some famous communities for weavers like weavers. Some famous communities in India of weavers were, the first is Tanti weavers. Tanti weavers lived in the area of Bengal. The second is the Julahas or Momin. They resided in the area of northern India, North India, and Sale, Kekular and Devang in southern India, South India. Sale, Kekular and Devang in south. Now we will see the stages of production. which is a part of Hoover the Weavers. The very first stage of production was spinning, and this work was mostly done by women. And in spinning charkha and takli were used. Actually, charkha and takli were household instruments which were used before the invention of spinning jenny. Mostly poor people used this household instrument because they couldn't afford machines. The thread was spun on the charkha and rolled on takli. The second stage was weaving. This work done when the spinning was over. And in weaving process, the thread was woven into cloth by the weaver. The most communities weaving was a task done by man. And the third one is color. The third stage was to color the textiles, and for colored the textiles, the thread was dyed by the dyer. Thread was dyed, cloth was dyed by dyer. And the dyers were known as rangraj. For printed cloth, the weavers needed the help of specialist block printers. These were known as chipigars. In our next video, we will see the decline of Indian textiles and cotton mills come up. And after it, we will discuss the process of making wood steel and the sword of Tipu Sultan also. And in the last part of this chapter, we will see iron and steel factories that came up in India. And we will start this stage with the introduction of Tesco.